on to you Libras. So let's get into it. All right, so hold on. Let me continue to shuffle up these cards real quick for y'all. All right, so the cards that I come up with for the Libras is the Six of Cups, the Ace of Wands, the Two of Swords, the Sun, the Six of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, the Temperance, the Four of Swords, the Emperor, and last but not least, we have the Queen of Wands. So the Six of Cups, the Ace of Wands, the Two of Swords. Okay, so the Six of Cups obviously is somebody coming back, right? This is Mercury retrograde time. So during Mercury retrogrades, you do tend to see a lot of dizzy individuals or people who try to get their foot back in the door with other people whom they know that they've wronged. They will try to get to know those people. So the Ace of Wands and the Two of Swords represents this being a situation for you where the Ace of Wands and the Two of Swords is that they're trying to offer you this, right? The Ace of Wands, right? Without even knowing about themselves and without even really knowing you. So what I'm getting here is they still haven't learned anything. Still. They're still offering you this when they should be offering you a cup or something. Or a pentacle, right? Or a sword or something like that, right? So that you can take the sword yourself, right, in your own hands. They're offering you a wand, meaning that they're still with the ego. They're still with the acting like they're still strong. They're still with the narcissism, acting like they're strong. And they Six of Cups, they're calling you and they telling you that they want you to hang out and all that, but at the same time, what you understand what I'm saying? So there's no loss of ego. People got that badly. People need to learn to lose their ego badly. People got that bad. So the Two of Swords is that they've put on that internal blindfold because they have rules for thee but not for me type of mentality, where they're so dizzy, they're so vacant mentally, they don't seem to understand that they never stop to think about how they did you Libras, because they've got their own internal blindfold going on, and they don't ever take the time to actually stop, because that's just how deeply lost they are in their own narcissism and their own self-absorption. That they feel like they have the audacity to come back, haven't learned anything at all. They just putting on a whole new face that they putting on, and they just trying to make it seem like, oh, I'm ready to come back. But it doesn't work like that. And you Libras know it doesn't work like that, because the Sun and the Six of Pentacles represents this being a situation for you where the Sun is you Libras understanding that you can't trust them. So you're not rocking with any of the people who come back, or a lot of the people, I should say, who come back and try to like buddy relationship type of stuff, hustle up to you again. Because a lot of you Libras have seen how the relationship thing, how people have used the concept of a relationship as some sort of hustle, as their way of trying to come up off of you, by standing on your shoulders or whatever, or eating off your plate. And the Six of Pentacles is the mentality of the Six of Pentacles, right, along with the Sun, but the Sun is you not messing with them, being by yourself. The Six of Pentacles is that you Libras have the mentality that they're gonna have to interact with you. They're going to have to offer something up. They're going to have to put skin in the game. They're going to have to put blood, sweat, and tears into this. Because if they don't, they don't have any access to you anymore. They're going to have to put blood, sweat, and tears. And then the thing is that the Knight of Pentacles and the Temperance represents You know, this is you moving forward with or without these people, right? Who can't seem to take no for an answer because they're coming back. And the temperance is that, again, you know, some of them may even try to make some sort of offer, but the offer is lame. Because if you pay attention, the temperance is a trick card, right? The temperance is a trickery card. So because it's not what it is that it's cracked up to be. It looks pleasing to the eyes, but it's not real. And you Libras know what it is. So the things that the Four of Swords represents, this being a situation for you where a lot of you Libras just need time by yourselves, and you don't want this relationship type stuff, because if y'all do want a relationship, you want it with someone new, someone that you haven't dated yet. You've never dated. You don't want somebody coming back and trying to, you know, buddy hustle their way back into their foot back into the door so that they could do the same goofy stuff that they've been doing. Dizzy. Acting like they don't understand what it is that they doing because they you know, they acting doltish and all this other type of stuff. You know, they getting on like they slow, you know. So the Four of Swords is that you staying by yourselves. You don't, you know what I'm saying? You're waiting until this Mercury retrograde. You're waiting until this Mercury retrograde stops being a retrograde so that you Libras can move forward. Because during Mercury retrogrades, a lot of people that represent the Six of Cups come back. People, you know, people who are past loved ones, you know what I'm saying, who from relationships come back, try to make themselves a present to you, and you don't want to deal with any of that. And the thing is that the Four of Swords represents just that. The Four of Swords is that, you know, that's a situation where you can be by yourself. I'm in that same type of boat with y'all. I understand how it is that a lot of you Libras feel. I'm going through something like that myself, where you like somebody, in Aries as a matter of fact, where you like some light past tense somebody and they wasted your time, and you feel like, oh, you know, and there's no kind of consideration for you. There's no kind of sorry, there's no kind of atonement, there's no kind of any of that. And yet this person tries to come back and, but I still want you to like me though. And it's like, no, why would I? And that's the same question for you Libras. Why would any of you Libras like this person after the stuff that they was doing? After they was doing the dizzy, goofy stuff that they was doing. They expect you now to exhibit temperance the correct way, where, cause see temperance is a card, and temperance is actually the kind of the highlight of this reading, really, because temperance is about learning how to control your emotional state so that you don't make terrible decisions that end up costing you in the future, right? You don't wild out on people and stuff, hurt people and stuff like that. That's what temperance is, right? Temperance comes from the word temper. So when people say things like temperamental, what they're trying to say is that how long it is before you get upset, you get angry, how much it is that you can take. So the thing is that the temperance represents just that. The temperance is about that. But the temperance is a trick card because it's about you. If see, the temperance should actually be upside down, because you should have less patience with people who are doing this type of goofy stuff trying to get on your nerves, right? Because they real goofy, and they don't, you know what I'm saying, they ain't really have a whole lot of stuff going on. So the thing is that the Four of Swords represents, like I said, you stand by yourself, and, you know, just to kind of add that layer to it, that nuance. And then the Emperor and the Queen of Wands is about how, now as far as the people goes, this is orientated correctly. I had to show you these two cards. This is orientated correctly, but they're still delusional in their own sense. I ain't gonna say delusional, but there's still problems with this relationship because one of them, right? Because both of them have the wands in their hands, right? With the Emperor, it's the scepter, but it's still a wand. And with the Queen of Wands, the wand. But the wands should be in the other hand, the left hand. Their wands are in their right hand, but that's west, which is air. But wands are fire, which is east. So they still have their perceptions wrong. You understand what I'm saying? What these two cards are saying is you Libras and this person still have your own issues amongst each other that you need to deal with. Now, differently, separately, you should be going through that, right, by yourself, and they should be going through that by themselves. You don't necessarily have to be together. Now, if you Libras decide, that was my dog, if you Libras decide to be with this person, then it represents how the two of you need to be very communicative, because the two of y'all want to be young and strong, right, and independent, and act like y'all don't need each other, and hard-headed, and that will go ahead and really get y'all in a wreck, so to speak, right, in a disagreement, in a fight. Not necessarily physically, but like in a fight of bumping heads, disagreeing with one another, where the two of y'all don't mix. Now let's clarify. Let's clarify the Ace of Wands. Okay. Hold on. So to clarify the Ace of Wands, the Magician, the Empress, wow, and the Four of Pentacles. So kind of like Scorpio. So this is about how you Libras pretty much you have the power. You can tell them no, yes or no. If you decide to let them back in, you could always feel free to move forward. The Empress is that you need to still deal with your own emotional state. And the Four of Pentacles is you still have a lot to offer yourselves and others, but you still have to deal with your own emotional baggage. That's what the Empress is saying, by taking responsibility for that, okay? Excuse me, that's them doing that, okay? But you Libra still have to take your responsibility for that, in the sense of, if you know now you don't want them, right, from the very beginning when they decide to come back, if you know you don't want them, then you can always tell them that, because dealing with them, they're only gonna think more and more as you deal with them that you are accepting them back. So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe. Peace.